tape that shouldn't exist. Kyria was an ordinary girl, curious, bright, and eager for her new junior high school life. Summer vacation had just begun, and she spent most of her days with her best friends, Emiko and Rina, exploring their small town. They loved rummaging through old shops and forgotten corners, searching for oddities and treasures. One day, in the dusty back room of a thrift store, Kyria found it, a videotape without a label, stuffed among crumpled magazines. The black plastic casing had deep scratches, and the tape reel inside looked warped, as if it had been through fire and flood. "Let's watch it tonight," Emiko said, grinning as she held the tape up to the light. That evening, the three girls crowded around the tiny TV in Kyria's bedroom. Kyria loaded the tape into the player with a click. The screen flickered to life, but the video began with static. Then a low hum filled the room, like the sound of distant machinery grinding endlessly. The screen faded to black, but shadowy figures emerged, warped, twitching bodies that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. One by one, the figures turned toward the camera. Their faces were smudged, as if smeared with ash, but their hollow eyes glowed faintly. A voice whispered through the static, but it wasn't a voice anyone would call human.
"We are more than alive. We are more than dead. Watch us. Feel us. Join us."
The screen flashed violently, filling the room with pulsating white light. The hum grew louder, almost deafening. Then the tape ended. At first, the girls laughed nervously. "What a stupid tape," Rina said. But then she screamed. Her nose began to bleed. No, pour. Blood soaked her shirt, pulling on the floor. She clawed at her face, shrieking that something was inside her head. Emiko tried to help, but froze mid-motion, staring at the blank screen. She whispered something Kyria couldn't hear. Then her body twisted unnaturally, bones snapping as her arms and legs bent backward. She collapsed to the floor like a puppet whose strings had been cut. Kyria stood paralyzed, unable to comprehend what was happening. The TV turned back on, and the static blazed with a new intensity. From the corner of her eye, she saw the shadowy figures crawling out of the screen, limbs impossibly long and jagged, dragging themselves into her room. Kyria didn't remember how she escaped. The next thing she knew, she was running through the streets, barefoot, blood soaking her pajamas. She burst into her parents' room, sobbing uncontrollably. But when they followed her back to her bedroom, There was nothing. No tape, no TV, no blood. It was as if nothing had happened, except for her friends. They were gone. The police found no trace of Emiko or Rina, and Kiria's story was dismissed as the ramblings of a traumatized child. But Kiria knew the truth. Every night when she closed her eyes, she saw them, her friends' disfigured faces and the shadowy figures whispering from the void. Months passed, but Kiria couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched. One day, her little brother found an unmarked videotape hidden in their attic. Kiria screamed at him to throw it away, but he just laughed.
"You are scared of a stupid tape?"
he said, popping it into the player. Kiria bolted out of the room, her heart pounding in her chest. But as she reached the front door, she heard his scream. The sound stopped abruptly, replaced by the low hum of static. When she returned to the living room, her brother was gone. The tape was gone. But the screen displayed a single line of text.
We'll be back for you, Kiria. Watch.
And then the power went out.